What's up, RoyalSpartan Tribe? This is RoyalSpartan125, back for yet another great reaction. This is part 1, Greater Terran Union, Stellaris Invicta. You guys have been asking for this for months. Yeah? I did the prologue like 6 months ago or something, or 7 months ago. Sorry I waited so long. Truth is, I've been doing other things, been streaming. I recently started another channel of reactions for movies and TV shows. It's called RoyalSpartan Take Two. I hope you go there, subscribe, and help me build it up. There's not many subscribers at the moment, and like I said, it's mostly movies and some TV show stuff. I'm going to be doing more of those too. If you like movies, TV shows, check it out. You might want to request some movies, and yeah, I really enjoy doing them. It was a lot of fun just reacting to them. I finally got around to this one, so it'll be interesting to see how it is and what we're going to see in this video. So yeah, let's jump in.
In 2200, after over a decade of automated tests and experiments, the TUS Hawking completed the first manned faster-than-light jump to a distant star system. It arrived in Alpha Centauri over 4.3 light-years from Earth, and in that moment, the destiny of humanity and the Greater Terran Union was made manifest. By the end of the year, the TUS Hawking had become just one of an ever-expanding fleet of ships passing across the boundaries of the solar system and into the unknown. Humanity had learned, at great cost, that they were not alone, and while no evidence of a second invasion by their great enemy was detected, the search for answers as to the nature of the galaxy raised only more questions. Ancient ruins were uncovered on nearby worlds, derelict alien starships discovered, scientific anomalies found, and new forms of primitive life encountered that challenged the Union's greatest minds. In the face of endless mysteries, the Greater Terran Union was not deterred. In 2206, construction began on a colony ship, one that would transport tens of thousands of citizens to a carefully selected site on a planet within the Sirius system.
Now, I will say this. The state of our world right now, all the countries and borders and flags and stuff like that there, and each country is more invested in keeping itself, its own best interests and all that there. The human race will never reach this level of technology and understanding unless we come together. Unless we take down the borders, unless we get rid of all the flags, and we come together and create a greater Terran Union, or whatever the hell you want to call it, this humanity bonds together in kinship and just comes together, has one government. You know what I mean? And obviously you want democracy, you want all that good stuff. I don't think they have it, to be honest. I don't know. We'll find out. But if they do, great. But, it's... I get it's probably more like maybe a military run thing. I think that's what they said last time. The military took control, but we'll see how it goes. But humanity really needs to come together, a lot more than it already has. I know there's like United Nations. That's what I was thinking of. God, my mind just went blank. I was just thinking there, and United Nations. That's the one I was looking for. Yeah, my mind just went blank. I just sat here. I know you just saw it cut, but I just sat here for like two or 3 minutes going, what's the thing? What do you call it again? United Nations. God, I know we have a United Nations, but again, it's just countries just looking out for themselves too. They're gonna do what's best for their own borders, for their own people, for their own flag, for their own this, for their own that, and all this. It's just one of those things. But yeah, the human race just needs to come together, and we're nowhere near that. We are nowhere near. It's gonna take what? A long, long time for humans to come together, you know? It's sad. It really is.
Action began on a colony ship, one that would transport tens of thousands of citizens to a carefully selected site on a planet within the Sirius system. A year later, on Christmas Eve, these first pioneers arrived and set foot on a new world, not merely as explorers, but as settlers.
Christmas
Even as
Eve?
all humanity
Wow.
celebrated this tremendous achievement, survey vessels operating on the frontier of explored space began encountering signals that were undeniably alien in origin.
Ooh.
After months of chasing sensor ghosts, a ship of unknown origin was finally directly observed by a Union exploratory vessel. Panic swept across the greater Terran Union, and for the first time, the assorted patrol ships and fast attack craft that constituted the Terran Interstellar Navy were deployed to the frontier. As Terran linguists struggled to find a means to communicate, High Marshal Natasha Fox, together with the National Council, debated how best to respond. The ship had not acted aggressively, and seemed entirely different in nature to those that had attacked Earth. But with the prospect of a second hostile alien race within striking distance, there were those who urged a preemptive attack. In a narrow vote held behind closed doors, it was decided the ship would continue to be observed, but not engaged. In 2209, the means of communication were finally established.
Okay, before we find out what happened when they were able to talk to them, I just wanted to say something. I'm glad they didn't just attack them without finding out, you know. Sorry, I'm just sorting out my volume. I'm still trying to sort out my volume. But yeah, I'm glad they just didn't attack for no reason, you know what I mean? They waited. They watched, they waited. They just observed them and just, you know, figured out how to talk to them. That's good. That's great. I'm glad they did that. And not to mention their technology is probably far beyond the humans at that point, yeah? Sorry, something stuck in my teeth. But yeah, so it was great that the humans just stood by. We didn't see what was going to happen, and yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad. Oof. Just when they said there was another alien ship, I was like, oh, okay, okay.
The means of communication were finally established, and diplomats of the Greater Terran Union were formally introduced to the Algan Republic. While the Polenian species that made up the Algan Republic exhibited none of the determined hostility that defined mankind's earlier contact with an alien race, differences in culture and governance prevented any meaningful agreements from taking place. In a matter of months, all borders were closed, and the Greater Terran Union began an aggressive campaign to claim and fortify star systems that might become the site of a future invasion. On Earth, xenophobia spread like wildfire, and radical factions quickly materialized in every tier of Terran society. In 2211, several of these fringe groups began openly attacking mining outposts across Union space. The largest of these piracy elements, led by a disgraced former member of the Terran military known to his followers as Romulus Chuck, demanded the creation of a holy solar empire and the annihilation of the Algan Republic, before he and his followers were destroyed by Terran warships over Alpha Centauri. Mass arrests followed.
It didn't take long, did it? Didn't take long for humans to turn on each other. For all their fear of an alien race coming to attack, it was humans that attacked first. Yeah? This is why we don't belong out there. Yeah? This is why we don't belong out there in the stars. You know? We just don't. We can't even come together on our own planet. Imagine what would happen if we went out there. We met an alien race that had technology greater than ours. Maybe they see us as a threat. Maybe they look at how we treat each other, yeah, and our world, and think, whoa, no, these people are a threat to us. They build more ships, they come out here and start colonizing worlds, they'll multiply, and there'll be more of them. They could decide to wipe us out, or we become too much of a problem. We're too aggressive, too warlike, yeah? We kill each other over the stupidest stuff. I mean, we beat, rape, rob, and murder each other every day. You know what I mean? Not me personally or you or whatever, but humans in general, yeah? It's just crazy when you think about it. It's scary. Like, what if we go out there and we think, oh, these people are lovely, they're really nice, and we can make treaties with them and maybe swap foods and stuff and goods, you know? But they're looking at us and going, whoa, no, 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 we need to kill these people. We need to kill them now before they get even stronger. The technology gets better, and they maybe they attack us or start a war or something, you know? Maybe they start a war among their own kind and drag us into it. Like, no, I don't blame them either. Like, if you were on the outside looking in, you saw the way humans treat each other and treat their world, would you want to be friends with them? No, absolutely not.
Destroyed by Terran warships over Alpha Centauri. Mass arrests followed, the right to assembly was briefly suspended, and Fleet Command was formally cemented as the primary space warfare branch of the armed forces. It was quickly expanded to deter further acts of piracy. While these setbacks raised some concern over the pace of human expansion, rising tensions with the Algan Republic and the likelihood that other, potentially dangerous alien civilizations lay undiscovered just past the frontier spurred the Union onward. The fledgling colony on Sirius III, newly renamed Acadia, was soon joined by others on worlds in the Alpha Centauri system and elsewhere. A network of communication and supply bases were constructed, and as the first colonists were quickly joined by millions upon millions of their fellow citizens from Earth, humanity was transformed into a truly interstellar society. In 1216, first contact was established with the United Clans of Skiron, and more signals were detected by reconnaissance probes each following year. Seemingly surrounded by spacefaring civilizations, plans were quickly enacted to seize as much territory as possible before formal communications could be established.
Smart.
In 2220, one such species was finally discovered. Yet unlike those previously encountered, the Wassari civilization had not yet developed the means of faster-than-light travel, but was seemingly only years away. Located within a strategically important star system rich in natural resources, the National Council and the newly inaugurated High Marshal Lee Martin convened an emergency session.
Don't do it. Please don't tell me that they're about to attack these people. I mean, I stopped it right before they were going to tell me, but it's rich in minerals. They haven't got the technology to do faster than light yet. They are a prime target. But then you take it, right? See if humans attack them now. They're the aliens. They're the aggressive alien invaders coming to attack a civilization that isn't ready yet. In other words, the situation is reversed now. Before it was humans that were attacked, right? And they weren't ready. And now it's the other way around. Now the humans could possibly be ready to attack these aliens, or maybe they'll offer to share technology with them, you know, like faster than light drives to push them forward, to help them, maybe an ally who's close to their level of technology. I don't know. It's a 50-50, I think. Or maybe they'll leave them alone. Let them develop on their own, and then when they're ready, when they actually develop these ships to go faster than light, maybe humans will make contact with them then. I don't know. I think that'd be the best option, to be honest, rather than either helping them along or attacking them. Just leave them alone. Let them develop their own technology. You know, if it's only years away, let them find us. In other words. You know what I mean? Put a ship out there, and when they're ready, they come to us. We go, hey, how you doing? You know, we just study their language, study their transmissions to get their language, figure out how to talk to them, and then when they're ready, they come to us. And we say, hey, how you doing? You know, it's nice to meet you, finally. We've been watching you for a while, just, you know, waiting for you to catch up. Okay, here we go.
Yet developed the means of faster-than-light travel, but was seemingly only years away. Located within a strategically important star system rich in natural resources, the National Council and the newly inaugurated High Marshal Lee Martin convened an emergency session. In another close vote, held after a series of emotionally charged debates, it was determined that should the Wassari develop faster-than-light technology, it would represent a clear and present danger to the national interest of the Greater Terran Union.
Of course.
In 2222, Terran Fleet Command destroyed a primitive space station in orbit of the Wassari homeworld, followed shortly thereafter by a coordinated orbital assault. Hopelessly outmatched by superior human weaponry and military doctrine, the Wassari quickly capitulated.
So the humans became the alien aggressors. Yeah? They developed these ships and developed these weapons in order to go out and defend themselves against the alien races. And maybe even get revenge. Actually, to get revenge against the alien race that attacked them. Now they just did the exact same thing. They just went to a lesser, technically advanced race and just completely dominated them. Yeah? They just became as bad as the people who attacked them. I knew it was going to happen. I knew it. I could feel it in my bones. Yeah?
Followed shortly thereafter by a coordinated orbital assault. Hopelessly outmatched by superior human weaponry
We
and
are the
military
scumbags
doctrine,
now.
the Wassari quickly capitulated. The annexation of the Wassari sent shockwaves through the Union.
Yeah.
While almost all its citizenry had advocated a humanity-first and interventionist approach, the actions of the National Council were seen as shocking. Questions prevailed over how the Wassari would be integrated into the Union, and whether the invasion of their homeworld had been justified. Some even suggested that by invading the world of a primitive species, the Greater Terran Union had become the very thing it had
That's
vowed
right.
to destroy. At least one marshal was forced to resign when leaked documents revealed he supported the invasion of the Wassari only to determine the effectiveness of the Terran armed forces against an
Wow.
opponent that was not likely to pose a serious
What?
long-term threat. While the justification and ramifications of the invasion continued to be debated,
You gotta be kidding me. This guy dominated these people. You know, he sent these people into war when they weren't ready for it. They treated these people like trash, in other words. Just to figure out how well their weapons work, how good their military strategies are. Humans have become what they set out to stop. And that's disgusting. It is. It's absolutely disgusting.
colonization efforts continued. Hundreds of outposts and stations were constructed across dozens of star systems, and every month brought news of new alien contacts and bizarre anomalies. While most alien civilizations seemed unreceptive to human values and worked to counter the Union's ambitions, the United Clans of Skiron, themselves surrounded by hostile alien powers, worked to ingratiate themselves amongst Terran diplomats. And by 2240, a limited technical exchange had been agreed to, as well as a preliminary defense pact. The Greater Terran Union, if not welcomed into some grand galactic community, had, if nothing else, been recognized as an equal of the other powers of the region. The vast emptiness of space that for millennia had challenged humanity to seize it now teems with Terran colonies and stations, alien empires, and ancient mysteries. Yet as even more distant civilizations are contacted and humanity's knowledge of the galaxy extends ever outward, it is a familiar story that is of the greatest concern to High Marshal Lee. Desperate refugees encountered across the frontier territories tell of an implacable enemy they call the Tyrum that has consumed entire worlds.
Yeah, I think we know who that is. It's the same ones that probably attacked Earth. The enemy they've been looking for, in other words.
Tyrum that has consumed entire worlds, annihilating their populations before moving on to the next. Terran field agents have spent decades traveling across the stars, seeking the origin of these reports, and their findings have finally made it back to Earth.
Ooh.
There can be no mistake. The Tyrum, the great enemy of all mankind, has been found, far too
Nice.
distant for now, but
Oh.
perhaps not for much longer. How they might have traveled to Earth and what has prevented them from returning remains unknown. But the answer might be found in one of the strange alien derelicts encountered by the Union, which, for now, remain dormant.
Damn, it's over already. I was really enjoying that. Yeah, that's really interesting. I mean, it's far more. Look at me, I like the prologue thing, but it was just a big information dump, and I find myself getting a bit cross-eyed, you know, just watching it and like, oh, okay, that was a lot of information, and I do remember some of it, but it was just so much just being dumped on my mind, you know. It's like, oh, but I like this. It's a shorter sort of introduction. Like the prologue just sort of tells you everything that happened before this, and it sort of prepared me for this. Even though it's been a while, even though it's been like about 6 months maybe. Yeah, it's been months. It's been like 6 or 7 months I've done this, done the prologue. I'm sorry I waited so long. That you know, I really want to do another one. I might actually do another one. I might do part 2 now. To be honest, I'm gonna do a funny one as well today. Yeah, make sure you go to my second channel. It's if you go to my the home in my channel, this channel, it'll give you RoyalSpartan Take Two. Just go there, and yeah. Well, until next time, I am out of here.